Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting edition of Books and Banter, your Medina Library's video blog as to what the experts are reading. My name is Eric Lucius, coming to you once again from the lovely Medina Library. Getting a little sunnier day out. For those of you keeping score again, we're over here, Travel Guys, European History, right in the heart of the library. We're going to do a blurb edition today. Going to be a little bit shorter. Been a crazy week, just got back from vacation. I have meetings, interviews, everything going on, so we're going to do a little quicker version. So let's get right to it here. We're going to start with, this is a book I talked about in the last episode, just briefly, Let the Devil Sleep by John Verdon. Pardon me. If you're not reading him, if you're a mystery thriller writer, this is someone you need to get on your list. This is the third book. This is an author you do not have to read the series. Dave Gurney is the main character, and I'm always looking for, and if you've seen the previous episodes, I'm always looking for kind of a catch. What's the uniqueness of an author? What's the uniqueness of a book? Dave Gurney is a retired detective, so nothing new there. The setting, he's over by Cayuga Lake. Any wine fans? Finger Lakes region, very cool region. But the setting doesn't take place. It isn't a real important part of the story. What I like about it is it's not overly graphic. It's not overly violent. It's a nice story. It's a wonderful build-up, and there's always a wonderful conclusion. A great writer. A little bit longer, 300 and not too bad, about 420 pages. But the gist of this book, Dave Gurney, the retired detective, a friend calls, says, hey, my daughter Kim is doing a project. She is interviewing the survivors, or the family members of the victims of a serial killer. Can you kind of watch over her? And by the way, she's got kind of this psycho boyfriend on the side, just kind of look in on her. So it starts innocently enough, and then, as Dave gets involved in the case, it builds up. As to who's behind, what's going on, what's the reason for these murders that start popping up? Is it someone trying to stop the project? Is it someone that has a vendetta against Dave himself? So he takes these little different avenues. Very satisfying ending and conclusion. At first I thought it was a little overblown, but if you read the book, I think you'll agree with me. The ending jives nicely with this whole kind of undercurrent of how the media treats and sensationalizes murders and serial killers and things like that. So it's a little message. Dave has it's very interesting, his relationship with his wife. It's not a huge part of the story, but it's there. It's an underlying current. I really like the interaction between the characters, how they're drawn, the personal relationships, something I can relate to. I think most of us can relate to. So again, if you haven't read them, you can start with this one. 3 other books, but get this guy on your list. Very good. Number 2. Oh. Wine suggestion. I forgot the last time. Wine suggestion. Have this with just a nice red blend because there's a lot of layers to this. BV Coastal Red Blend, something you get on the bottom shelf at your grocery store. Don't be afraid to get the bottom shelf wines. It's a psychological thing. I'll talk about that, and there's another book that talks about that. They want you to feel badly because they're reaching down there for the cheap wine. Wonderful wine, lots of different layers, lots of different flavors, lots of different things you can get out of the red blend, just like this book. There you go. Okay, number 2. Chelsea Kane, Kill You Twice. This is one, right up front, this is one that you need to read this series. If you just pick up this one, you're going to be a little bit confused. The very first one, I want to say is Heartsick? Yes, Heartsick, by Chelsea Kane. There's 5 books in the series now. She had a lot of pub when she first came out. Stephen King gave a wonderful blurb. A couple other authors were on the bandwagon right away. All of her books have been bestsellers. They've all done very well. Last episode I was talking about the series fatigue. Getting a little bit of that with this series. Still good though. The catch on this one, this is Archie Sheridan and Gretchen Lowell. Archie is a detective over in Portland. Gretchen is a kind of a famous murderer. Again, talking about media and sensationalization. Same thing with the other book. There's a bit of this in here. This is set in Portland, Oregon. Chelsea Kane does a wonderful job of incorporating that setting into the story. I can't go into this one too much as far as details because it's going to give away a lot of the series. But in a nutshell, I guess just to get at it, there's again a serial murder, which is typical of every single Chelsea Kane book in this series. There's a serial murder. Is it a copycat murder? How's it related to Gretchen? There's there's kind of this love triangle or quadrangle, I guess. There's all kinds of characters in this one just popping up. This is a much quicker read, much faster read. Graphic. This is graphic though. Some of the scenes are really kind of make you shudder a little bit. The wine recommendation with this guy, get something like a Pinot Grigio or a Sauvignon Blanc, something with that little acidic bite to it because you're going to read this and you need to kind of clear the palate after you do that. So this is also another nice book. May want to read this one with the lights on. And again, you got to start at the top of this one. There's a couple other books. This guy, I just showed it in my mailbox. This I haven't even checked it out yet. Frank Filliez, I guess. French author. Apparently he's had some international bestsellers, as it says at the top of the book. This one I just thought was quirky. The interesting little thing about this is these folks start watching some old movie from the 50s, and they get they become blind, I guess. So I thought this was very interesting. I've heard that this is getting a lot of publicity and a lot of good reviews, so this one you might want to check out. Pretty brand spanking new. Last but not least, anyone with an Olympic hangover, this is gold. Chris Cleve. Haven't read this one. Lots of good reviews. Lots of staff here at the library have read this. And this talks about two women cyclists gearing up for the 2012 Olympics. So very timely. So I just thought I'd throw that in there as well for you big Olympic fans like myself. Real quick to end up here, Library Live just came out, hot off the presses. Two big things I wanted to mention on the back here, September 15th, Keep on Truckin' program over at our Buckeye Library. September 22nd here in Medina, the Storytelling Festival. We got tall tales, we got puppet tales, we got folk tales, we got all kinds of tales, all kinds of stories. Sounds like a wonderful program, something new that we've been partnering with a bunch of different groups on. So check that out here at the library. And also inside, all kinds of great Reader's Advisory stuff. Blurbs on books coming out for the next couple months. And the wonderful thing, if you do this online, you see a book you like, Michael Conley, it's going to be one that's on my list. You click on that, it'll take you right to the catalog. You can place your hold. So all kinds of fun little technology stuff there. So that's it. That's the Blurb edition. Probably went longer than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Please email me with any questions. I have my email included. And that's it. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the library.